So J-Lo and her team are putting up roadblocks on the block, and this is all alleged. Okay, so the word on the street is that J-Lo and her team allegedly are going against TikTokers who've been mocking her online with this whole backlash that she's been receiving, and they're trying to get them, or they have been allegedly giving them copyright strikes, or telling TikTok to give them copyright strikes for using her material. I'm going to read a little excerpt from Forbes here. Copyright strikes can greatly affect a creator's reach and potential earnings. For TikTokers who make a living from the video sharing platform, the move was viewed as a low blow from Lopez's team. Let me read another part. It says TikTok creator Kyle Marissa said that her account had received copyright strikes on every single video that contained footage from the greatest love story never told. As a result, her account is now permanently banned. So my thing is this, and I said this in another video. This is like the worst move that J-Lo and her team allegedly could ever do, right? If they did this, which it appears that they have. Okay, this is the worst move that they could ever do, because rather than actually coming out and speaking about the allegations, here's the thing. I understand wanting to take certain things down. People were mocking her and, doing her. I don't know if you saw the whole film, but she was saying like, oh, this reminds me of when I was on the block as a little girl. And she's like running her hands through her hair. And everybody said it was, not genuine. It came off as extremely forced and performative and the whole thing. And they think that, she's trying to use the very people that she doesn't like. She seems to despise when they meet her, normal working people. She's trying to use them for her gain, to make this whole these projects successful for her. But she really doesn't like everyone. So everyone's mocking her and just basically talking about and showing, reenacting how disingenuous this whole thing was. I go back and forth because, it really sucks if people are mocking you online. Okay. But, there's something called fair use. And if I take a video, I'm really, really cautious with doing this. You don't really see me use people's videos a whole lot. I might play like 3 or 4 seconds of it and I'm out if I do that. But fair use is basically when you take, a little piece of someone's content and you don't try to make it look like you've created it, but you're giving commentary on it. So that way the audience knows what the hell you're talking about, right? And so that's what people were doing. This is a place where supposedly we have free speech, right? And they're giving their reaction to this whole situation with J-Lo. And my thing is, I said this before, we're in a time now where people want to see the real you, they want to see the authentic version of you. And no one on planet Earth expects people to be perfect. Okay. And I know that Jennifer Lopez comes from a time where basically, like, if you were a celebrity, like in the 90s or the early 2000s, you had to really have this image of perfection. Excuse me. You couldn't really show a side of yourself. Like, you couldn't get mean in public. Well, what was that celebrity? Her name was Bjork. She was a singer, really, really famous. She was really, really famous, really huge. I want to say she was from Australia. I can't remember. But this journalist had been following her around and she had her baby with her. And the journalist was like basically stalking her, I guess. And so Bjork had come off like a 20-hour flight or something. And she had her baby in the stroller and there's cameras. You could just tell she was exhausted. And then out of nowhere, that journalist just kept pecking at her. And Bjork just stood there like this and just snapped. I could see her seeing red. And she went over there and grabbed the woman by her hair and fought the woman all over the floor. And it was just a huge deal. And I really didn't hear much more from Bjork after that. That could have been a career ruining type of situation. So, J-Lo is from that time period where if you did something in public, if you looked bad, if you did not look human for any reason, or if you looked human, if you looked human, it would be like detrimental to your career. We're in a different time now. And so, my thing is she shouldn't come out. She shouldn't be blocking people's account. If that's what they're doing, they shouldn't be striking people's account, doing a copyright strike. Forbes article also says J-Lo's narcissism single-handedly crushed the main portion of my small business, Kyle Marissa said. I don't even have the opportunity to download or save 4 years worth of my content that had been viewed over 1 billion times and accumulated over 50 million likes. Kyle Marissa has since created a new account but lamented the 4 years of hard work that was put into building her sizable TikTok following of almost 700,000 followers, having lost hundreds of thousands followers from the ban. I'm just going to read a little bit more because it's important. She told me that her earning potential has been severely impacted by the loss of her account, estimating that J-Lo has cost me more than 4 figures of income just for March 2024, which affects her ability to access necessary medical care. And it is alleged that Marissa has passed away and that she was using the money that she got from TikTok to pay for some really hefty medical bills. I believe it was cancer. This is all alleged, hearsay. And so people are coming out and they're angry at Jennifer Lopez for basically causing this woman to lose all of her money and getting her account banned. If that is true, I think that is awful. I'm really reluctant to use a lot of people's content. I'm putting up pictures, but I'm not playing videos. I would say go to TikTok and just do a search if you want to search for her name and what people are saying about that. But if that stuff is true, I think that is, absolutely, it's just really, really awful. And it is time for Jennifer Lopez to come out and speak about it. Or, if I were her, if I didn't want to talk about it, I would maybe put everything on pause in the United States, because she still has, a big presence in like Puerto Rico and other places outside of physical United States. And I would just focus on other territories, people who are not, places where she isn't experiencing this type of backlash, and then really work on trying to gain a relationship with my fan base, and not a fake one. Because celebrities back in the day could come out like she did and say, oh, I'm from the Bronx, and try to have this whole image where they seem like they're, relatable, when really they're not. No one really cared back in the day because there was no social media. But now there is, and everyone can come on TikTok and say, hey, I was at the airport and I talked to J-Lo because I was her flight attendant and she treated me like trash. I was a person in a movie theater and she came in and treated me like trash. I saw a video where her assistant came up and put her hand out and Jennifer Lopez spit her gum in her assistant's hand, which, me personally, I would have made sure, if I was in a situation where, I'm getting ready to have a bunch of pictures taken of me and I need you to, take care of my gum, I would want that person to have a napkin in their hand. But that's just me. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think I'm right? Do you think Jennifer Lopez, it's time for her to come out and start speaking and making a relationship with her fans? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments.